Big news overnight in the fight against ISIS. The chief executioner, Jihadi John, targeted by a drone in Syria. You see it right there. That is an ISIS stronghold. He is believed to be dead.
The U.S. had been hunting him for months, but one of the most wanted men on earth who terrorized the world with those brutal terror tapes, executing those 3 Americans and publicly calling for war against the United States.
He also taunted President Obama personally in those tapes. Our full team is on the story this morning, starting off with ABC's Brian Ross. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning, George. He became the face of evil, and the U.S. had been tracking Jihadi John, a British citizen, for months. U.S. officials say the drone strike was launched late Thursday, just before midnight in Syria, as he left a building in Raqqa and entered a vehicle. Military and intelligence officials watched live a video feed back in Washington, and one official told ABC News it was a 100% flawless direct hit. This morning, praise for the U.S. effort from leaders around the world.
I've always said that we would do whatever was necessary, whatever it took to track down Emwazi. Today, I want to thank the United States.
The world first came to know Jihadi John a little over a year ago, when he appeared wearing a black mask, holding a knife, and threatening the life of American journalist James Foley. His voice was disguised, but he could not hide his British accent.
You have plotted against us and gone far out of your way to find reasons to interfere in our affairs.
One after another, he presided over the murders of Foley, American Stephen Sotloff, and Peter Kasich, plus 2 Britons and then 2 Japanese hostages. Earlier this year, his true identity was revealed to be Mohammed Emwazi, seen here wearing an American baseball cap, the son of Kuwaiti parents who emigrated to the United Kingdom. Even as a schoolboy in London, Emwazi was spotted by teachers as having a violent streak. One teacher told the BBC that at the age of 11, he was put in anger management therapy.
We'd find that he'd get very angry and worked up, and it would take him a long time to calm himself down.
As a young adult, he joined ISIS, flaunting his role as executioner. With his piercing eyes and gravelly voice, Emwazi became one of the world's most wanted men.
Our knife will continue to strike the necks of your people.
It's just so sad that our precious resources have been, concentrated to seek revenge, if you will, or kill this man, when if a bit of them had been utilized to save our young Americans, that's what our country should be doing.
U.S. officials this morning say they presume that Emwazi was killed in the drone strike based on what they observed of the hit. The vehicle he was in burst into flames, and one official said Jihadi John, essentially, George, was evaporated.
So he may never have the DNA.
May never have the DNA. That's right.
Brian Ross, thanks very much.
And so the long hunt for Jihadi John coming to an end. ABC's Martha Raddatz is in Washington. And Martha, we tracked down this ISIS terrorist, but what does it say about our overall intelligence capabilities in that area?
Well, Amy, clearly, even with limited intelligence assets, we've managed to track down some of these ISIS fighters and leaders. But if confirmed, he is by far the most prominent. And that may have helped us find him. It's never easy to track any single person. You have to try to figure out their pattern of life. How would he travel? Who does he meet with? How does he get those execution messages out? But by being the public face of this terror campaign, Jihadi John was tempting fate. More people would know who he was, where he stayed, especially with that British accent. But even with all that, as we said, it took more than a year to find him, Amy.
And so, Martha, does this make a difference in the fight against ISIS? Does this have an impact?
Well, it's without question a big symbolic victory for the U.S. and Britain, and you can be sure we will make the most of it in terms of countering the ISIS message. But he was not the man who was leading the fight, and surely someone will step in to take his place. The ISIS network remains very strong and very widespread, but this strike, if proven to be Jihadi John, is a blow to the group for now, Amy.
All right, Martha Raddatz in Washington. Thank you.